You are watching The Bible Witness.
I'm walking quickly through the alley to meet a man I knew.
Hey, handsome. Want some fun?
A prostitute tried to seduce me from a doorway, her voice teasing, her smile meant to lure. But I didn't slow down.
You don't like chicks, sir? Let me serve you in the way they can.
In this city of Sodom, pleasure reigned while the poor rotted. I keep walking until the wooden sign of the restaurant came into view. I stepped inside. The air was thick with steam, the scent of bread and sweat. There he is, the man I'm going to meet. He's sitting alone at a worn wooden table. I approached without a word and sat across from him until he pulled back his hood, revealing a face I hadn't seen in years.
Uncle Abraham!
Hear me, Lot. You must leave Sodom immediately. A disaster is coming.
As he spoke, a sudden noise cracked through the room. Two men wrestling violently in a corner. No one stopped them. No one cared. The city was rotting from the inside. Why?
I was talking with God Himself just a week ago. I remember the night clearly, the moment the darkness shifted and He came toward me. I bowed low, heart trembling, and for a long moment we stood there in silence.
The outcry against Sodom is great. I will destroy them.
Will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked?
No, if there are righteous in there, I'll spare them.
Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city.
If I find 50 righteous, I will spare the whole place.
What if 5 of the 50 are lacking?
I will not destroy it if I find 45.
What if 40 are found there?
I will not do it for the sake of 40.
Suppose 30 are found there.
I will not do it if I find 30.
What if 20 are found?
For the sake of 20, I will not destroy it.
Let not the Lord be angry. What if 10 are found?
For the sake of 10, I will not destroy it.
I exhaled long and low, my eyes closing. When I opened them, He was turning away. That's when I knew that I need to meet you.
How many righteous people did you find?
4. Only a family.
Silence fell like a stone between us. I stared down at the rough wood of the table, my thoughts heavy, swirling.
I can't let Sodom be destroyed. I must save it.
Lot, save yourself.
I didn't reply. I pressed my hands to the table, rose slowly to my feet. The light from the door poured in gold across the floor as I walked toward it, my shadow stretching behind me. Behind me, I felt Abraham's gaze, but I have decided. I thought my meeting with Uncle Abraham was kept secret, but it's not. Not to supernatural beings. Somewhere, far from the flickering oil lamps and murmurs of the tavern, Azrael watched me. On the table before them, a crystal orb glowed violently, and within it, my face. He knew everything.
Interesting.
When I arrived home, I saw my wife sitting at the table, fingers clenched tight around something. Salt. We don't have much left. She was living in her own mind, just like I'm living in my own mind too. She turned, finally, her eyes catching mine, but I was far away, still watching fire fall on cities in my mind.
We have no money left. Not even enough to buy salt.
I barely heard her. Her words floated past me like distant noise. I was home, but I wasn't really there. My mind was still echoing with Abraham's voice. She watched me sit down. I could feel her holding back all the words she wanted to throw. I couldn't even look at her. My finger tapped a slow, quiet rhythm into the wood, the only sound I could make. I'm still watching fire fall on cities in my mind. She turned away, retreating into herself, but she still held the salt like it was all we had left. Maybe it was. Next morning, I stood in the heart of Sodom, hand raised high, voice breaking through the crowd. I tried to warn them, turn away from your wickedness, but it seems that my word has no impact on them. Judgment is near. The Lord will strike this city.
Will he rain down frogs or fire this time?
He will destroy it with fire and sulfur.
Bring your virgin daughters, then we'll listen.
You mock righteousness while standing on a cliff.
Go back to your prophet games, old man.
You still have time. You can still repent.
Why should we listen to you?
Because the Lord sent me to warn you.
Then tell your Lord we're not interested.
Even now your hearts are too proud to bow.
We bow to no one, especially not invisible gods.
And I stood there, hand falling to my side, breath heavy, my warning lost in a sea of laughter and pride. I came back covered in dust and silence, each step heavier than the last. As I reached the door, I could already feel her waiting. I opened it, and there she was, standing in the center of the room, hands on her hips, eyes burning beneath the lamplight. I stepped inside and closed the door behind me, knowing what would come.
What were you thinking, shouting in the street?
I didn't answer. I couldn't. My eyes dropped to the floor.
Now no one will lend us a single coin.
Our daughter stood off to the side, frozen in the shadows. They were scared.
They say your madness has cursed this house.
The fear behind her anger was understandable. Still, I said nothing. I turned away and walked to the far corner, away from them three. My daughter took a step toward me, then stopped. She thought of saying something but couldn't figure any word. I sank to the floor, my back against the cold stone, and folded into myself. My shoulders trembled, breath sharp, tears spilled into my hands. My daughter watched, eyes wet, gaze locked on me in silence. My breath hitched, body shaking in quiet sobs I couldn't stop. Only the lamplight watched as I collapsed beneath its flicker, alone in the dark. That night, two streaks of light cut across the night sky, fast, bright, and silent. A moment later, they crashed on the hillside. When the smoke cleared, two figures stood still in the haze, wings on their backs, robes glowing faintly. They were the angels. One of them, with long blonde hair, looked out toward the distant city.
Is this the place?
The other, calm and steady, kept his eyes on the same glowing skyline.
It is...
Suddenly, light rose from their bodies, then slowly faded. The wings vanished. The glow disappeared. By the time they started walking, they looked like ordinary men. Azrael stirred from stillness. The boy beside him clung to him in sleep, unaware. But Azrael's body had tensed. He had seen something. Without a word, he rose, the silk sheets sliding off his shoulders, bare chest rising with silent breath. Across the room, the crystal orb on the table was no longer dormant. It pulsed with light. And within it, two figures had appeared, the twin angels. Azrael stared into them, unblinking. The violet light inside his eyes intensified. A cold edge formed at his lips. His jaw clenched. The moment had arrived. I'm leaving, before dawn if I must.
Finally, you decided.
In the corner, our daughters huddled together, hands tight, watching silently.
I have warned them again and again, but they laugh, they mock, and they curse God's name.
The lamp flickered between us, its gentle pulse marking our silence.
Good.
The girls remained still, one's arm around the other, watching. But their hearts are stone. We can't change them. Still. I can't bear the thought that I just leave them to burn.
That's their choice.
I don't know if I still believe they want saving.
Then save what you can, Lot, even if it's only yourself.
Suddenly a knock broke the tense silence. I opened it to two young men cloaked in soft light. Their presence was calm, otherworldly. Please come in. They stepped inside quietly, their shadows long across the dirt floor. I shut the door behind them, latching it slowly, already sensing what was coming. I know who were they.
My name is Gabriel.
And I am Uriel.
We have been sent by the Lord.
You must take your family and leave the city.
Leave? When?
Tonight.
Before the sun rises.
Wait, leave now? We haven't packed.
There's no time to prepare. There is no time.
You must leave everything behind.
Her eyes widened, tears forming. She didn't ready to leave our belongings behind. It took all our life to make them.
All our things, our lives.
I stood still as their shadows stretched across the tent walls. Something sacred had already begun to fall apart. They came at night, surrounding my house. I seen them through the cracks.
Bring them out, Lot. Bring those beautiful men out, so we can know them.
The whole crowd roared, waving sticks and stones. The fire behind them made their faces look even more twisted. Then a stone flew through the dark and slammed into the door with a heavy thud. I stood frozen, hand on the latch, torn. But I couldn't hide. I opened the door and stepped outside. Right away, a stone struck my forehead. Blood spilled down my face. I staggered from the pain, but forced myself to stay on my feet. The crowd kept shouting. Someone else lifted another stone. What do you want? Then the crowd moved aside. Someone was coming forward. He walked out from among them. Azrael, torchlight hit his eyes, cold and sharp.
Hand them over, Lot. Let us taste them.
Is that him?
Uriel nodded slowly without saying a word. Gabriel clenched his hand and looked toward the door again. Azrael took another step, pointing to the mob behind him. Blood was still dripping from my head, but I stared him down. My fear was gone. All I felt was anger. I slammed the door shut. The firelight from outside vanished, and everything fell into shadow. I leaned against the wood, breathing hard, blood still trickling from the side of my head. My daughters rushed toward me, both pale and shaking.
Father, let us go outside. Let them take us, not them.
I froze. My heart sank. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
They're guests under our roof. This is the only way.
My chest ached. I clenched my fists to keep them from shaking of what I heard from my own daughters. You don't know what you're asking.
You raised us to do what is right.
That broke me. A single tear slid down my face. God forgive me. I opened the door. The shouting and fire hit me like a wave. Please, take my daughters instead. They are virgins. Laughter burst from the crowd. Some slapped their thighs.
Virgin daughters, eh? I'd try the small one first.
Then everything stopped. Azrael's smile vanished. His eyes turned to ice.
No, We came for the guests.
Murmurs rippled through the mob, faces growing darker.
Tear him down!
The crowd erupted in a howl. Blood, fire, and hate surged forward. Weapons raised, they charged. Then, out of expectation, Gabriel stepped into the yard, his face calm but firm, walking straight through the smoke and heat. Uriel followed him. Then they began to glow. Their bodies vanished into light. Wings flared out. Robes turned to flame. They stood no longer as men, but as beings made of heaven. The men's eyes started to blind.
I can't see! Help! My eye!
But Azrael didn't seem to be affected by their power.
Azrael.
You traitor.
Azrael took one step forward.
This is where I belong now.
You twisted this city.
You brought darkness here.
They chose me.
One of the men collapsed, sobbing behind him.
You will answer for what you've done.
You fell to feed your pride.
I brought them freedom.
You enslaved them to lust and wrath.
And they welcomed me with open arms.
Your time is ending, Azrael.
Azrael suddenly lunged. Gabriel lifted his hand across his chest to dog to hit. Uriel struck from the side. Azrael's shoulder burst in flame. Light surged from Gabriel's palm straight at Azrael. Azrael screamed as fire overtook him. His eyes bulged. Flame swallowed his face. He was destroyed. The light stated to faint. All around them, the men of the city lay scattered, moaning, clutching their blinded faces. I saw Gabriel turn toward the door, and in that instant, I knew we had to go now. Uriel didn't wait. He grabbed my wife by the wrist and pulled her. Gabriel reached for me and yanked me toward the doorway. My legs moved before my thoughts could catch up. My daughters were just behind us, clutching each other's hands like they were afraid to let go. We ran. All of us. Out into the night, away from the house, away from everything. I didn't dare look back. Gabriel led me across the ridge of sand, my feet sinking with every step. I didn't ask where we were going. I just followed. I could hear my wife's footsteps behind me, uneven, dragging. Uriel held her up. My daughters stayed close, hands clasped, eyes locked ahead. I hadn't seen them cry. I don't know if they still could. We moved in a line like shadows, the six of us, the city shrinking behind. Each step forward felt heavier than the last. Then the sky broke. A single line of fire split the dark. My breath caught. More came. Fire poured down from the stars. The sky itself turned against the place we'd called home. I didn't need to see it. The sound reached me before the meaning did. Somewhere behind that horizon, people still ran, still hoped. But hope can't outrun fire. Some prayers are already too late. Even the strong froze. There comes a moment when even violence forgets what it's for. The ground must have shattered. Pain fell on the innocent and the guilty alike. Judgment doesn't aim. All gone, all burned. They must have screamed. But death turned their voices to silence. Flame found flesh. That was always the end of this. I didn't need to watch. I already carried enough ghosts. Fire rose like a verdict written in the sky. The city was not just ending, it was being erased. And still, they ran. Even at the end, people cling to walls and gates as if they can hold back heaven. The final fall came not from the fire, but from the weight of what the city had become.
My house! My thing!
Do not look back!
My wife cannot escape the city, not in her mind.
Mother, no!
And then she was no longer my wife. There was no prayer for what had just happened. My tears fell. The past gripped my wife harder than any flame could. We stopped our journey in a cave. When I looked up, I broke. She was gone. Just like that. I didn't even get to hold her. I wiped my tears, but they kept coming. My eyes blurred, but her face stayed clear in my mind. I lay down, drained. My arm fell beside me. I felt hollow. I closed my eyes. Each breath hurt. I kept seeing her, the moment she turned. My daughters sat nearby, quiet. I couldn't look at them. I couldn't say her name.
Everything is gone. Cities, the people, no one survived. Not even Mother. We are alone now, only us and Father. If we do nothing, there will be no more people. We must do what is necessary.
I was drunk and unconscious when they started to do it. I didn't know anything. I was still asleep while she did the unforgivable. I was raped by both my daughter. Was that the karma for all the sins I committed when I was in Sodom? Guess I would never know. Behind us, the cities burned, and I had nothing left.